The Ebola virus is spreading, and no one in any position of authority is releasing information to the public about how serious of a contagion this is. It was just a few weeks ago that the CDC and mainstream media claimed it wouldn't make it to U.S. shores. But as of today, reports are flowing in from all over the country from hospitals that have admitted patients who recently traveled to Africa and are showing possible symptoms of the deadly virus. Take a look at the photo on the screen. It was in Toledo about an hour after the city announced that their water supply had been contaminated with toxins. Notice how every drop of water has been removed from the shelves. Imagine for a moment what grocery store shelves, pharmacies, and hardware supply stores are going to look like within 12 hours of an Ebola infection or outbreak being announced on U.S. soil. Things will happen fast. When it does, the CDC and Homeland Security will likely announce a number of precautions that we'll need to take. Those precautions are going to include supply lists and strategies. Guess what 300 million Americans are going to do all at once when those supply lists and recommendations are announced? Look no further than the DHS Fukushima radiation announcement and how it affected the supply and price of potassium iodide. The price of potassium iodide topped $200 per rack on auction sites. The prices went up to 1,900% in just a few days. Here's the bottom line. If you don't have your supplies before emergency announcements hit the airwaves and plan on going without. If you want to take action ahead of millions of panicked Americans, then we urge you to follow the recommendations in this video. They come from informed sources and will be very similar to what the government will recommend in the event of an Ebola outbreak or pandemic emergency. Here's a basic supply list provided by the Organic Forever of items you'll need to weather a pandemic emergency. Drinking water, 1 gallon per person per day. Food, including items that don't require fuel for preparation. Heavy-duty garbage bags. Sanitation supplies, such as toilet paper, paper towels, baby wipes, and feminine hygiene supplies. Entertainment. You want to be able to keep children and restless family members busy, so get craft supplies, books, games, and puzzles. Basic medical supplies. Here's a list. You may want to pause this video to copy the list. Pandemic kits that contain protective clothing, a Quick Care Deluxe Pandemic Flu Kit for each family member, extra N95 masks, nitrile gloves, Dynarex Black nitrile exam gloves, heavy duty, powder free, large box 100. Safety goggles with an elastic band to ensure a snug fit. Pyramix V2G safety eyewear. Clear anti-fog lens with black strap temples. Antibacterial cleaners such as disposable wipes, bleach, and spray cleaners. Antibacterial hand sanitizer, Purell pump bottle, original 8-ounce pack of 12. Those items should help with prevention, especially if you take the advantage of locking down and staying home. The takeaway here is this: you cannot depend on the government to give you accurate information until it's too late. Moreover, emergency services personnel will be overwhelmed and you will have only yourself and those in your lockdown group to depend on. Plan on no outside help. That means you need to have food, water, and other supplies on hand. Additionally, if we have a widespread emergency that brings down the commerce system, you may need to head out to a barter and trade with others for necessary supplies that may have been overlooked. In such an instance, you may also want to have some precious metals on hand for trade. The silver.com price for silver today is about $20. It may be a good time to stock up on some emergency cash like silver eagles or pre-1965 U.S. quarters and half dollars, which contain 90% silver. These trade instruments are recognizable and may come in handy. Prepare now, because as we have seen with disastrous past, waiting to do so until after the announcement are made will be too late. Last and surely not least, call on Jesus for help and trust in Him. This has been Katie reporting for QTV.